Welcome into another edition of the Blue Coats Beat on DETV, and welcome to Blue Coats coverage in 2020.
Wow.
How about that?
Happy
the new
New
year.
Year.
Hope everybody had a good holiday. The Delaware Blue Coats, of course, the NBA G League affiliate of the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Blue Coats Beat giving you an inside look at the team both in the community and on the court as well. I'm Matt Murphy alongside Blue Coats Ambassador of Basketball, Joe Richmond. Back with another episode. Joe, we got plenty to get to. Talk about Coats in the community. Let's jump right in there. We'll get to the team, and Marial Shayok's continuing his hot start to the season, or I guess
MVP
just at this point,
run, baby. MVP
I guess
run.
at this point, just hot season because it's not really the start anymore. But we'll get there. Plenty to talk about. Let's start with Coats in the community because it was the holiday season. We hope everybody enjoyed their holidays. And I think the NBA does a great job with the whole NBA Cares Season of Giving campaign. And for another year, the Blue Coats were involved with a shopping spree at the Christiana Mall to benefit the patients and families of the A.I. DuPont Hospital for Children, the Nemours A.I. DuPont Hospital for Children. And you were involved with it last year.
Yes, sir.
The team back involved with the NBA Cares Initiative, the Season of Giving, buying some gifts for those families.
Man, like last year when we had Mike Bryson and Jared Brownridge, and it's always good when you got the players coming out. It really is, and the players love it too because a lot of people know they're away from home and they got family and friends, and they wish they were there to give to them and their communities. But it's great that they're here in the great state of Delaware and the local community of Wilmington and you know A.I. DuPont Hospital. Oh my, I love the children over there. Last year I got to be like the Santa and deliver all the gifts, and it was just an amazing thing. And the tree and the atrium was beautiful. And this year we had Cody out there.
It was Cody leading the charge. But what about you last year? What was that like to see the looks on their faces when you delivered the gifts?
It's just, you know, when you know the children, you don't know what their issues are, but that time of year just brings a different level of thing for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for those individuals and those youth, it was just unreal. And I was just amazed at how the kids they understand. Man, Christmas just brings out the kid in everybody. And I think the doctors and the nurses, they were more excited than the kids. But it was an awesome feeling. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, you mentioned last year. Ryan Anderson, who's not on the team this year, was one of a couple guys. Jared Brownridge and Michael Bryson still with the Blue Coats. Those three did their thing. This year, Cody was leading the charge, the beloved blue horse mascot of the Delaware Blue Coats with the state of Delaware on his nose. The fans love Cody, and why wouldn't they? And it was him leading the charge this year. But you see it all the time out in the community. When Cody's involved, everybody lights up a little bit. Everybody loves Cody.
Because he got the coolest walk in the whole G League. That's why. And last year, as you mentioned, those guys, they did a Build-A-Bear. And this
we did it again this year,
and Cody got the. I wish we had a competition because Cody's Build-A-Bear was awesome, and he was amazed. And the young lady that was helping him, she was just amazing as well. And you know, when Cody gets into those schools, when he gets into that hospital, when he gets into those rec centers, the electricity just goes up a whole nother notch. And I love it. And I'll say it again: as much as the kids enjoy it, you get the security. Everybody wants a picture with Cody because he's just that type of individual.
Right.
But you know what? Cody, he doesn't just love it. He embraces it. He really does.
Yeah.
And he gets in there with those kids, and now you know he's the best dancer in the OG League. A lot of the kids think they can outdance him, but it never happens. And that's why I love Cody. He's just the best.
And Cody, they named the Build-A-Bear that Cody built. We had a few different names involved. It ended up being Blue. So there was Delaware was in the mix as well. I think something else. But Blue ended up being the name of Cody's bear. And, of course, they have the Sixers gear at Build-A-Bear. So thanks again for everybody at the Christiana Mall that helped us out with that and Build-A-Bear for the second straight year. But with the Season of Giving involved, in mind, I should say, and coming off the holiday season, it's a great opportunity, I think, to build some momentum in terms of transitioning from that holiday season of giving into other continued community efforts for the Blue Coats.
Definitely.
We talked a lot last week. If you didn't check it out on our channel on YouTube or on DETV or wherever you catch the Blue Coats Beat, episode 1 with Bluecoats president Larry Milai. A lot of that was about books and basketball. And
yes.
you and Aris Watson, some good momentum to build off of the season of giving into books and basketball and some other community initiatives as we move along this season.
Yes, and it's going to start this Saturday. We have a great game coming up at 1 p.m. And we're going to have some other games like that during the week, which is some school type games, since kids will be off because a lot of different little holidays fall in place. And the books and basketball is just going to be like a tidal wave going into this 2020 year, and we're looking to build them in. I think Aris has about maybe 7 schools already on deck for us to get right out into it, and we're excited to get started.
And we talked hashtags last week with Basketball Has Power. You have one, this is our season, and maybe 2020, this is our year. It's a new year, so new opportunities with books and basketball and all of that. But you mentioned the upcoming game on Saturday. We'll have another one the following Saturday on the 10th. More about that later in the show with opponents and things to look forward to and how you can get your tickets. But I want to talk about the atmosphere, because obviously it's just you and I this week on the show. We're going to have guests throughout the year here on DETV, but you know more than anyone about this atmosphere at 76ers Fieldhouse for a Bluecoats home game. There's plenty more home games, including the next 2 Saturdays, plenty of weekend games. The atmosphere is electric a lot of the time. You bring a lot of people out. The previous home game was packed, not the result the team wanted, but a packed house. So let's just start there. What's going on the concourse? That's something everybody wants to talk about when you go to a Bluecoats game. There's so much going on. What are some things that these games have to offer?
We hit you right in the face when you walk in the building. And my man is on stilts. I'm like, he's a little taller than me, but I got to get my stilt game on. We have
Does
a beautiful.
Does he still have your hat?
Yeah, that's the juggler. The juggler has my hat, and that guy is amazing. And I love it because he can interact with the kids. Sometimes I see him miss that ball, but I be laughing because he'll flow right into something else. Hey, you know what? We just put a car out in the atrium. We have a Kia. What is that out there? That's like I love the car.
SUV of some sort, right?
Yes, it's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
And it's Bluecoat blue.
Yeah. So we had to get that in there.
Yo, we have the young lady, they do the face painting. I have not gotten my face painted yet, Matt. I am going to get it done before the season is out.
Should I do it for one of the broadcasts?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. If you do, I know Dee's not going to do it as well. But, we have a lot going on out there. The young lady, I think Jenna is the amazing thing where they do the tattoo, and the kids, the young ladies love that.
Yeah.
So for those parents that bring in their little girls, they got something. We have something for everybody, and that's the one thing about when you come out. And our band, oh, man.
The Bluecoats house band.
Yes.
Paul Green.
Yes, they are the best. And them young people can do whatever type of music you want. They can play Frank Sinatra and LL Cool J in the same night. So it's amazing. And we always have our awesome Sixers that come down with us. And it's just the atmosphere is just so uplifting, and we get you going. And we also have a lot of different things for the fans as they come in. We have rosters of the teams and things of that nature. So we have everything that the fans might want or need to enjoy themselves once they get into the court area.
Right, and we're talking all these specific things. And I mentioned you bring yourself a lot of people to these games and some groups as well. Why are these games good for groups? Is it just because there's so much to do so you can break off and do your thing?
Well, there's a lot of great things going around the great city of Wilmington, and there's a lot of events, and there's a lot of great nonprofit organizations. And we as the Bluecoats, the one thing we wanted to do was embrace those organizations and say, hey, well, how do you get these kids out? And the kids, as you know, just like you was at Christiana Mall, when those kids see Cody, those kids see the players, their faces light up. And a lot of times these kids don't get an opportunity to come out to the Fieldhouse, but through their organization, whether they're at William Hicks Rec Center or they're at Reed's Refuge, they can come out and they can bring those groups out and say, hey, Joe, we want to bring a group out. How do we do it? And just contact me, and we make it happen. And it's amazing to see them come out. They all have their shirts on, and they love it when Cody throws the T-shirt toss. Who doesn't love the T-shirt toss? Yeah. And that's the best thing about us bringing out the groups.
And the Skyhawks game that I mentioned was packed, a sellout, not an empty seat in the house. Really, just when you get up close to the court, Larry talked about it on last edition of this Bluecoats Beat. It could be your first time seeing these types of players up close and personal. I think that is a big thing, the intimate atmosphere that 76ers Fieldhouse offers when you can get up close and personal with these 7-footers and things like that. And when it's a packed house and everything is clicking, it's a can't miss, a can't beat venue.
No,
for a
I
game.
tell it, and I say that, and I know we hear that all the time. So I challenge anybody right now, right here on DETV, right here on the Blue Coats Beat. I challenge you right now. Come to a game. There's not a bad seat in the house. I'll go sit up in the corners with you. I'll sit on the floor. It's not a bad seat in the building. It really isn't. The way they put this thing is unreal, and you will love it. So come on out. And that last game, it was really packed. It really was. I mean, that promotion, that organization, I can't believe it. It was really a different type of atmosphere in the building because a lot of people were saying it. It was just, they roared I don't care if the other team turned the ball over. The place just roared, and that's what we needed. We roared out of 2019. Now we're going to roar right into 2020 starting this Saturday at 1 o'clock.
And the on-the-court product, we mentioned his name, Marial Shayok, 76ers two-way contract player. He's the guy I want to talk about as we wind down on this edition of the Blue Coats Beat because he's having a great season. 25 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game, and he's a 10th as of Thursday, a 10th of a point away from being tied for the G League lead in points per game. So he's right there with the best scorers in the G League. He's been a lot of fun to watch. And what has stood out to you about Marial Shayok's game, Joe?
Marial Shayok could walk through the gym with just a T-shirt on. You wouldn't know who this guy was. He's just so quiet, so unassuming. But on the court, he is a cold stone assassin. This dude you look up and say, where did he score 30 points? Where? Like you went to go get a hot dog and came back and he had, this guy, he understands the moment. He understands what we're trying to accomplish here. And you could tell he wants something. There's something personal going on with Marial Shayok, too. You could tell he wants something more. Right. It's just in him. He will not let us lose, even though some games we've lost some close ones, but it's not because of the effort that he puts in. And sometimes he wills those guys to let's get this win. And I love everything about him. I just love the way he is. You can stop. I see him stopping, walking through the concourse. He'll just take pictures with kids, and he'll take a picture with anybody, young, old. And that's what I love about him. And he's got to win MVP. We got to get him in there. Let's go, Mario.
Shayok, another one of the examples of a Sixers player that fans can come out and see. There's guys on assignment most games like Jonah Bolden, Zaire Smith, and you have Marial Shayok and Norvel Pell right now on the two-way contract. So Shayok having a great season. Last thing before we finish up. Shayok was the first player drafted from Ottawa. So he's Canadian, and there's been a lot of coverage from Canadian media outlets about Marial Shayok. So I think that's about the global game and the NBA being a global league. I think that's kind of an example right there. And what do you think that has to say about how the international reach can impact even at the G League level? Because Marial Shayok is doing it for Canada and receiving a lot of publicity for it.
And we have been doing it for Canada. Where's Ben Simmons from? Australia.
Yeah.
From Australia.
Right.
But it was another player that was from Canada. Oh,
Jonas from Australia.
Yeah, but the other kid that plays for the Minnesota Wiggins.
Wiggins.
So you can tell that we're out there. And I always say, with this technology now, I don't care where you play. They're going to find you.
Right.
And for us to find a player of Shayok's ability, I know he had a great collegiate career and then coming out, but when you look at all the other places, look at Don Shake from the Mavericks and things of that nature. Basketball is just right now universal, and it's the best sport to play. And I love that we built an atmosphere down here at the 76ers Fieldhouse where you can come and see that type of talent at the level that when Marial's at the 76ers, he's the same Marial there down with the Blue Coats. And nothing changes. It's just that he is just on another scoring tear when he comes down here with us. But the wholeness of where we are globally, I just love it. I really do. And I'm looking forward to more players of his caliber coming from other countries. And hopefully they'll end up here either with the Blue Coats or, my love, the 76ers.
Right, and it's great to see that international flair in the form of Marial Shayok and a few others in the G League, but Shayok with the Blue Coats. It's really cool to see, and it's definitely a global game, a global league at the NBA level. That's just about going to do it for us, Joe, but we mentioned Saturday, and then the following Saturday, a couple more.
No, it's Friday. The 10th is the Friday.
Is it a Friday?
Yes, the next home game.
We got a Saturday.
Yes.
My bad. So it's Saturday and a Friday, but weekend games regardless. So definitely two more good opportunities coming up here in the near future to see the Blue Coats at 76ers Fieldhouse.
Let's go 2020. This is our season. This is our year. Let's go Blue Coats.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the Blue Coats Beat. We will talk to you next time, but for our DETV crew, including Ivan Thomas and Dennis Pritchett, and my partner, Joe Richmond, the Blue Coats ambassador of basketball, I'm Matt Murphy. Beat, and we will talk to you next time on the Blue Coats Beat here on DETV.